Heyo, and welcome to A Study in Chaos. My name is Kat, and I publish under the pen name Cat Leo. I also do a bunch of things on the internet under KatsChaosCafe, which is also social medias and stuff where you can follow me. And I'm not sure if you realize this or not, but your girl does not know what she's doing. So, I previously, once upon a time, have a history of doing this. Of like, that's a thing, let's just jump and do it, which is kind of what I started doing when I started streaming. Um, so back in 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic started, I was in college at the time. I was a full time college student as well as a student employee in campus dining. So and I wasn't just a student employee, I was a student manager. I was head student manager at my dining location, which was like a little convenience store. Monday through Friday, essentially. Might have been Monday through Thursday, primarily. I was on campus from like 8 to 9 a.m., 8 or 9 a.m., till 9, 10 at night. I was on campus that whole time. My entire time was structured because I either had class, work, or like my between class time. If I had a between class time, I might not have had a shift, or I might have had one. I spent like one day I accidentally had like a 13-hour work day. I got in trouble for it. I didn't get in trouble, like they paid me for it, but they were like, Kat, you did like a bunch of work. Let us know like what you worked. Cause like my classes had gotten canceled that day, so I just worked on a bunch of stuff. Like behind the computer work and stuff, that getting ready for exam schedules and the next semester schedule and stuff. But I spent all my time doing stuff, like so much structure, like it was constantly had to be somewhere or doing something. And when the pandemic hit, my campus shut down. My dining location was not a necessary dining location. It was a small convenience store in an academic building. It would have been different if it was one of the main like food spots for like students to get their food, but it wasn't. It was in an academic building that was being shut down because nobody could go to class physically. All classes went online, so there wouldn't be anyone in that building. There wouldn't be teachers, like, so there would be no professors, there would be no students, there would be no administration in that building at that time. So they were like, your location is just getting shut down. They kept like 2 or 3 locations open on campus, I want to say, but everything else just had to be closed for however long. It ended up being until the next semester started. And I went from doing all of the things all of the time to suddenly I was just sitting there. Some of my classes, my professors were like, we're not even going to have meeting times. I'm just going to like upload lecture videos. Or like, I'm just going to give you the reading assignments and stuff in the final project. And that's it. Like a couple of my classes did that. Some of them did have meeting times. Like they kept the regular scheduled time and we just moved it online. Um, but the majority of it was like I no longer could go to work. I no longer went to campus. Most of my classes like weren't even meeting, so like I didn't even have that structure to go with. So back in March of 2020, also we had just gotten off spring break as well, right before campus shut down too. I we had like 1 week of work, I think maybe. I was like, I need some type of structure. I'm just so lost. I have nothing to like hold me accountable or anything because I'm not going to campus. I'm not going to work. I was going a little stir crazy. And I ended up starting streaming on YouTube. Because that is I think a little bit before that I had found AuthorTube. And then I was like, I'm gonna give this a shot just as a way to hold myself accountable and to achieve the things that I need to do, and give myself a structure. So I essentially took my work shifts and turned those into streaming time. And like there was a little bit of thought, but it was like a this is a I just need to do this. I need to do something type of situation. It was a oh, I needed something launch situation. So I have a history of doing stuff like this. Um and like with this with Cat Chats, the podcast that I'm like, I've given up on that one just because it has been like 2 years since they had a post on there. Let's just try a new one. That one, I don't even think I put any thought into it either. It just kind of happened. And I only did like 6 to 9 episodes, I think. Um, and they were super inconsistent. I don't think I ever had any consistency in those episodes going out. Whereas this one, was studying chaos. Also, Cat Chats was like my writing journey. It was what it was supposed to be, I think. This one is a study in chaos. I consider life to be chaotic. Everything is chaos. So it's whatever my special interest is in the moment to make an episode. There might be more than one episode in a row about one topic. There might not be. Just it depends on how I'm feeling. And I don't want them to be longer than 20, 30 minutes. So whatever I can fit in that time, sometimes they're going to be really short, sometimes they're going to be really long. I don't know. There is really no structure. I was messing around on Canva with the cover because I was like, maybe I'll get back into the podcast, maybe I won't, I don't know. Instead, I ended up making a new podcast because originally I was actually working, I think, on alternative covers for cat chats, for like cat chat, cat watches, to be like if I watched like a TV show and was going to talk about it. So I have various versions or thumbnails for the podcast. I think I made 4 of them actually. Listen to my typing. Yeah, I think I made four of them. So I have the one that is the cover of the podcast that you can see on the cover, the thumbnail. I have one that looks like a movie tape, um, like a the movie, the film. And then one. Well, actually, I have two of those. The my face is two different colors, um, between them. And then I have like one that's like a book, and then icon, and then one that's actually bracketing with like I'm sitting on a shelf or something. I don't know. Like there's a bookshelf and you can see the books. So I have a couple of various thumbnail covers that I can use to I if I figure out how to change the covers, depending on what I might be talking about. So if I talk about random media, like if I have an episode or a series of episodes of me talking about Leverage, The Vampire Diaries, um, I want to rewatch, uh, full rewatch Leverage is what I'm currently is one of the things they're doing. Um, but maybe a rewatch of, or actually a watch through of The Vampire Diaries because I started college during that time that it was going out, and I no longer had cable, and I just was focused on work and school instead of that. I read a lot of fan fiction. I read a lot of fan fiction now. Maybe I'll ramble about fan fiction sometimes. Maybe I won't. There's just there's chaos here and you're invited to witness the chaos that I am committing. Cuz so you know those hats and stuff that moms will wear that are like the chaos coordinator. I bought one of those hats. I am not a mother, but I am a coordinator of chaos. I am a chaotic entity and you get my chaos here. You get like my study in chaos. It might be a special interest of the day, it might be a special interest of the week, it might be me randomly ranting about vampires. I don't know. Cuz I don't know what I'm doing. There was no thought. It just was a launch. No thought, just launch. Which I think is going to be the title of this episode. No thought, just launch. Which, speaking of this episode, so today, on the day I'm recording this, is May 12th, which is the day after Mother's Day, and I had the podcast go live today. So, yeah, the first episode was out. This is going to be I think this one's going to be the third episode. Yeah. The second episode I think is my Mother's Day that I scheduled. It's talking about Mother's Day and how I approached Mother's Day gifts this year. So I did end up altering their gifts a little bit. So how that ended up, because I recorded that before I gave Mother's Day gifts. I did give like the starter plants and the little chimes and the candy and stuff. But I had work on Saturday morning, and I got out of work. My stepdad was there to pick me up, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna run into the store next door, and see if they have any flowers. And then if they do, I'm gonna run back into my work and get some vases." So I got my mom and my stepmom both a bouquet of flowers, as well as the like starter plants that I tried to start. I was like, I hope they survive. Um, and I my mom, I put a little Mother's Day balloon in her bouquet. And I put them in a nice vase so that they were cute. My dad and my stepmom were at a wedding that day. So they actually came through the town that I live in. Like, it's like a little triangle, like the town they live in, where they were at a wedding, and then the town I live in. Because they're all like within like a 20-minute drive of each other. So it's nothing major. But they needed to stop at the hardware store and then stop and get coffee from the grocery store. Um, so while they were at the grocery store, my dad was like, "Well, he told me exactly where they were parked." So I don't drive. I don't have a driver's license. I don't actually know how to drive. Everyone thinks I just like don't have a license. I actually do not know how to drive either. So that's a thing. But so my dad called me when I was like, "Hey, I might just have my stepdad drive me out to the house because I thought they were still at the wedding." I was like, "I'll have him and I'll just leave my stepmom's uh Mother's Day gift on the porch, so it'll be there when they got home." And he's like, "Well, we're in town. If you can come down this way." So it's at the other end of town. So it's a 5-minute drive. Um, so my stepdad just was like, "All right, let's go." So I took the stuff, and I got to see them. And apparently my stepmom, when I got there, she was like, "Yeah, your dad was just like, yeah." And she was like, "Well, okay." So she got her bouquet of flowers. She got the flowers I tried to start for her. Hopefully they survive. She's much better at keeping plants alive than I am. Um, she has some magic powers, okay? She is truly a witch. She's a green witch. Or a kitchen witch. Um, so like those plants are in the best hands probably compared to mine. Like, if it's not my plant, I can bring it back from the dead, almost. Like, it can be on the brink of death and I can bring it back. But, like, if it's a plant I'm growing and it's for me, it's gonna die. I don't know why. Um, but that tracks, actually, so much. So hard. Um, so I was able to give both my moms their Mother's Day gifts on Saturday because I had to work on Sunday. On Mother's Day, I had a slightly longer shift than normal, so I wouldn't have even had time in the morning for like someone to drive me out there to deliver the Mother's Day gift. So, and then, oh, y'all, the house we live in. So this is my mom and my stepdad's house. For health reasons, I had moved in with them, and my job had closed, like the company shut down. Um, when I lived downstate. So I ended up having to move back up here anyway. Uh, this is 100-year-old house. So random bits and pieces have been fixed in the 15, 16 years they've lived here. I think it's 15 or 16 years because I'm 27. And I think I was like 12, maybe? No. Yeah, maybe. I might have been 12 when they moved in here. But yeah. So there's an update on the Mother's Day gifts. They both really liked them. So I was glad. I was like, there's nothing like major about these gifts, but they both really liked them, and that's what I tried to put thought into them, and like they both appreciated the gifts, no matter like how small they were. I think the most expensive thing was the flowers, like the actual bouquets of flowers that I bought. So there's the Mother's Day gift update, which I'm very excited that they liked. I have D&D today on the day I'm recording this with some children. Because yeah, Kat is anti DM. I'm the running D&D campaigns with children. So that is some of the chaos that I've been committing. What chaos are you committing? So let me know.